Welcome to the Unwashed Asses, episode 102, recorded for Wednesday, yet it's Friday, April 5th, 2019. Get real honest with you guys, I don't want to record right now. The only reason I am is because of this obligation I have to you. It's at this point, you've literally given me money, so now I owe you this thing. No, it's Friday. The boys at school, so we're doing the bi-monthly car recordings. Except now it's about 55 degrees, sun's shining, there are birds chirping. There's a nice, beautiful, pristine lake, and I'm sitting in the heat in my car, and it is just like perfect napping weather. Like, this is primo stuff right now, where I've got a full belly, got the steak and cheese from Subway, got a little bit of Starbucks on the walk back to the car, and now that I'm sitting in this little hot box where it's not really hot, it's that nice cozy warm, you know, where it's like having on a nice big fluffy sweater or being under a blanket, and it's cozy as all get out. There's a little bit of heat, but not nearly enough to make it uncomfortable. It's like, I just want to pass the fuck out. That's where I am right now. Instead, you know, I'm here with you, and we're going to get through this show one way or another, no matter how much we do or don't want to be a part of it, you or I don't know. No, absolutely gorgeous day. The weather took a bit of a turn. What was it, last Sunday or Monday? When I recorded last, we were getting snow flurries, and now, you know, we jump up 30 degrees, and oh Lord, it made a world of difference. Like, this is what kind of cements spring in as the second favorite season. You know, fall's always got it beat in terms of colors, and you know, you're settling into the chill, and Halloween's always a favorite, and get back into cocoa and, you know, warm drink seasons. But spring, close second, mostly because, yeah, you get colors with the flowers and the trees budding, and you get a return back to warm from, you know, the frigid temperatures of the north that we have. And, you know, everything starts to feel alive again. Don't get me wrong, I love winter, but I can only handle so much of it, and that's, I think, why I like spring as much as I do. You get that nice appreciation. That, and it's not too hot. Summer just is the absolute fucking worst. Oh my god, it can suck a dog dick. But hopefully the dog doesn't come inside, because we don't know if Summer's allergic to dog semen. But no, I'm currently waiting to start seeing some blooming. A couple trees I've already started with buds, but definitely no flowers yet. But, you know, after a solid few days like this, might start happening. And then, you know, we've got approximately 1.5 weeks of enjoying the weather before summer starts to ramble in full. In fact, actually sitting here just talking, it's getting a bit warm. Let's crack this a little bit more here. Just drop those windows down. There we go. So I apologize, you're going to hear traffic now, but it's either that or I start turning on vents and leave my car running, and that makes no sense fiscally, you know. I have a fiduciary responsibility to myself. That comes before my responsibility to you. Oh, but there comes the joys of Lake Geneva with people and their fucking car alarms, and I had to delay recording it. Put it off a couple minutes because emergency vehicles just kept going by and by and by. Despite being in what I would think a fairly isolated spot, I'm still close to a main road. But no, that's, you know, enough digressing. What are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about Skullgirls. This past week, I went to go play one of 2 games I play on my phone, and even then sparingly. It was that Stickman game I had told you about months and months ago. I had put it down because I had hit that inevitable, you know, that glass ceiling, so to speak, where I wasn't going to really progress my character unless I decided to spend more money on the game itself, because it was a long, arduous slog of a grind. That being said, I did like the PvP element of it, where every week there was essentially a tournament. You fight your way up the ranks and then see how you place and then get rewards based on that. A lot of mobile games have this in place. One I used to play on Windows Phone a lot was this jousting game, and I got it for Android again, but it's one of those things, like, I never really stick with it. But I remember on lazy Sundays when there's fuck all doing, I would keep that thing running constantly and then check my stats and see how I'm ranking. And it always felt good to kind of, place world first in something, even as, silly as that. Like, I beat everybody else in the world at this. So, similar concept with the Stickman game. Yeah, I'm not going to reach the ranks of platinum and whatnot, but I could easily, take out the gold league and, work my way up the ranks slowly, get some rewards. Usually they're not really worth a whole hell of a lot, but the idea being it's a nice reward system. It gives me that carrot to chase. So I had a little bit of downtime on Sunday. I figured, you know what? I haven't touched this game in a while, and I'm sick of browsing Imgur and Reddit on my phone. Let's fire this up. And lo and behold, it said that something illegal or something against the game's rules had happened with my character. I'm like, the fuck? As such, I couldn't get into the PvP mode. I could only do the story mode, which is kind of meh. It wasn't even offering me like the daily login rewards that you typically get. So I tried switching a character. Oh, my other characters work just fine, but I don't like playing those characters. I paid for this one. I want to play this character. Switch back. No go. Okay. This is weird. Let's load up my previous save file that was last synced up. It's a level behind, but fuck it, whatever. If I can play, I can get back. No. We'll let you load, but there's still something wrong with your account. You can't play. Okay. Well, drastic times call for drastic measures. Let's uninstall entirely, reboot the phone, reinstall the game. Okay, reinstall, download the updates, get signed into my account. Still can't play. It's given me this error 109, and it says then that I need to contact them on Facebook. So I don't do that. I go and I check the latest reviews of the game on Google Play Store, and it looks like I'm not the only one. Apparently the last update broke it, where multiple people are now unable to log into characters due to this same message. Not that anything illicit or anything wrong was done with the characters or by the people playing the game, but instead an update kind of broke the system. And because I'm not willing to log into Facebook and send a developer a message about my one case, mostly due to the fact that you should not run a business, even if it is just a small-time developer for several apps, through Facebook. You should have your own dedicated site. You should have your own dedicated email. It's like local shops, mom and pop shops. They're like, oh, no, I've got a Facebook page. That's good enough for me. Fuck you. Go sign up for Wix or whatever else bullshit you need. Squarespace is, $10 to $15 a month. Your domain is maybe $10 a year. Invest into your company. Have a little pride in what it is you're doing. Odds are your revenue that you're generating from this is more than enough to cover it. Even if it's not, say in my case, where I don't sell anything, but I still pay to have a decent looking site, as decent as I can make Blogger look. I work real hard to be as presentable as I can. But it drives me up the wall when somebody just relies exclusively on Facebook. What if, not that it's likely to happen. I doubt Facebook's going to go the way of MySpace. What if they decide to close up, or they change their business model, and all of a sudden that page that you had relied on for years no longer works? Plus, on top of it, I'm not super comfy with how much Facebook knows about me. I'm one of those paranoid fucks. As such, I don't keep their shit on my phone. I don't have the app. I don't have the Messenger app. And anything that's related to Facebook, I actually have to log in on my computer, do the two-factor authentication, and then check what's going on. Oh, Facebook would love to send you desktop notifications. No, thank you. So, that right there just kind of put the nail in the coffin. I'm like, you know what? Let's uninstall here. And I did. It was sad because, yeah, I had dumped about 20-ish bucks into the game. Now, bear in mind, most of it was that Google survey app, which I recently found out that I may have broken because I turned off the location history for Google Maps. Again, paranoid part of my brain. I'm not super comfy with the company knowing exactly where I've been. And I understand that, yeah, me turning off location tracking doesn't necessarily mean that I've actually turned it off. They're probably still tracking what I'm up to. But it gives me that peace of mind. I'm not getting those surveys anymore, though, because it doesn't know where I have been, and it can't pull that data. And it's not really asking me anything else, which kind of sucks, but oh well, it just means I don't have an extra $1 or $2 to throw at mobile apps. But no, so I was looking for something to do. I then started browsing the store. Came across Skullgirls. I'm like, oh, this seems familiar. And then I remembered that I had gotten it as part of a Humble Bundle deal a year or so ago. I'm like, all right, well, this one's an actual video game. Let's give it a whirl. And I fell in love with it. It has this wonderful hand-drawn animation, similar to how Street Fighter used to be, but it actually falls in line closer with Darkstalkers, which was, I guess, the Halloween equivalent of Street Fighter. And it is just so fluid and beautiful, and the custom painted / pseudo 3D backgrounds are lovely. It's like I took a step back in time to the days when, you know, Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom and Darkstalkers and games like that kind of reigned supreme in the arcades, and I am thoroughly in love with it. Now, if you just look at it from the outside, it would appear that it's nothing more than just sex appeal. Yes, most of the characters are women. Yes, they have exaggerated proportions, and they're easy in the eyes, but they're also cartoons. But hey, 2D titties are better than 3D titties in some cases. But it goes so far beyond that, where, it's not all women, and it's not all women that are sexy. They are full of so much life and personality, and not just the titties, but the characters themselves. And they are so wildly different. Like, I'm not finding a typical cookie cutter mold like, oh yeah, we have Ryu, and then we have Ken, and then we have Dan, and then we have Akuma, where they all kind of share around a similar build. They're all different, where the first character I got was an experiment, essentially, that created a 1920s cartoon girl who smokes cigars and throws bombs and will throw people into a carpet bag and beat the shit out of them. There's also this big jazz band character who is literally a fucking jazz band in a trench coat, and his attacks are all musical based. We have this guy calling himself Beowulf, but he's pretty much just a fucking luchador, and he's fantastic. I did not expect to fall in love with him the way I did. We have a girl who, while yes, wearing super revealing clothing, she fights with her hat. Her beret grows these gigantic Hulk-like arms that she uses to beat the shit out of people. And perhaps my favorite character is this nun who, looks super pure and typical nun, but she turns into this Cthulhu-esque Lovecraftian nightmare that will randomly shapeshift into other characters, if not just appearing like a monstrosity from the void that will literally suck you into the palm of her gigantic hand, grow teeth, and then chew them up. It's so fucked up, and I love it. And it has this wonderful 1930s 40s-esque Art Deco style. So it's very reminiscent of things like Bioshock. It's like Bioshock and Darkstalkers had a delightfully fucked up little child, and I'm in love with it. Like, it plays very similar to other quote-unquote fighting games on mobile, where the best examples I have, Marvel had a fighting game where you unlock different characters, and then Dragon Ball Z's had several like this. But essentially each character has an element, and kind of like Pokemon, certain elements do better against other elements. You unlock abilities for each character, you equip them with different moves, you level the characters up, and essentially just kind of fight. Now, it's all broken down, again, in a similar structure to like the Marvel game, where there is a story mode, however lacking, where you're set on a path kind of like a game board, and you have to move from tile to tile, beat the enemies there. The enemies will have a set numerical ranking for how strong they are, which you can then kind of gauge your own team composition against. Usually it's 1 to 3 characters you can tag in and out, and then you just clear the level, unlock stuff, reinvest that stuff into your characters, and move forward. And of course the characters have different rankings, like bronze through diamond or whatever. So the idea is, yeah, you can invest money into buying gems and coins to unlock these characters faster, or just play through and, you know, do the slow slog. It is microtransaction heavy, as most of these games are, but as far as I'm in, like, I'm 6 hours or less into the game. While it does peter out and burn through your quote-unquote stamina faster than other games where you have to put it down and wait, I'm having more fun with it than others, mostly because of the care to detail and the attention that was paid to everything here. Because again, it's all appears to be hand-drawn, beautiful 2D animation, and each character has such a unique and vivid design, and they're just amazing. It's really sucked me in to the point where, like, okay, well, I've got this on computer. I never played it because I got it as part of a humble bundle along with like 12 other games. I installed it, and now I'm like, all right, well, how do I tell the wife that is Destiny right now I need to get a little side action with the Skullgirls? It's like, how do I divest that time? Because things are going really well with the Destiny marriage, but you know what? I just need to get a little piece of that side tail. I'm so enthralled with it, and I mean, since the odds are heavily in favor of us not getting another Darkstalkers, this is kind of as close as we're gonna get to it. On top of that, it's free. The music is lovely. I can't get over how good the visuals are, though, especially on mobile, and it plays extremely well on this Pixel 3 I have. So if you like the old school 2D fighters, and I guess I should get into that with the controls. The controls are super simplistic, but like, it's easy enough to get you into it, but then difficult enough to make you want to really invest and master certain characters. So the way it works is you can do everything essentially with 2 fingers. Dragging your finger across the screen will cause the character to move backwards and forwards. Tapping the screen makes them attack. Keep tapping, it'll do combos. Hold it, they'll do a heavy attack. Swipe up, they'll do a grab. Swipe down, and they'll do like a trip. And then there's a few other variations on that, but essentially it's all super simplistic and rock, paper, scissors as far as, you know, can you overwhelm the opponent, or how do you read the moves and kind of react to the basic combos? But what's interesting is, as you upgrade each character, because you don't have a controller where you have to learn, 20 different combos per character, as you upgrade the characters, you unlock more pieces of their combos. So essentially, the stronger your character is, if you've invested correctly into them, they'll combo for longer, they'll do more damage. Like, the one character I'm investing super heavily into right now is, and I don't know any of their names. aside from Beowulf, because he has such a strong personality. That, and I know the name Beowulf. But this nurse, I've been investing super strongly into, and she's got, like lifesteal ability, and she will do 6 hits in a combo versus the standard 3 that most everybody else starts off with, because I have been investing heavily into her. And she's really turned in kind of a linchpin where, say, I even have an elemental disadvantage with her because of her other perks like the longer combo chains and the lifesteal and the buffs and the debuffs. She can still take care of people much higher level than her. And it's that investment that I have into the characters now where it's like, okay, I want to keep coming back and playing. And I did just unlock their PvP mode where you essentially pick a team of 3 fighters that will take on other people as AI. And then you can also work your way up the chain, and it resets every week, I think, where you then get your rewards. So I'm down. I'm so fucking down for this. It's not even funny. And it's made for the correct distraction and gotten me off of Reddit and Imgur, so I'm super thankful for that. But yeah, if again you have an itch for classic fighters, or you just want something different to try on your phone, give Skullgirls a whirl. It is definitely worth it, and I don't know, it does. Again, I'm early into it, but it seems packed with enough content that even though there is some money grubbing to be had, it might be worth it. But that's gonna wrap it up. Of course, this year, that comes later. But now is the part where I tell you, if you have your own questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, complaints, critiques, or otherwise just want to comment on the show, shoot an email over to theunwashedasses@gmail.com. And now the part I was trying to get to before, because I forgot where I was at. This year, tell a friend. They can get TUA wherever they get their podcast normally. Let them know. Help the show grow. And that's going to wrap it up. We'll talk to you next time.